Jeremy Cook here, and today I'll be unboxing the Behringer Pro VS Mini. It's a tiny little synth. I've never seen it before. I'm looking forward to seeing how this looks and how it sounds. So let's check it out. So not much in here. You got looks like a couple of manuals. So it says "We hear you," so that's interesting. The unit itself is pretty small. You know, I could pretty much put my hand on it, although I've got pretty big hands from there to there. So about 9 inches, almost 8 inches this way. About 5 inches that way. So the unit listed for $99 on Amazon, although it took a while to get here, so it must be quite popular. You don't want to eat this. Then you got some keys here and some little knobs, and I've been told these knobs are kind of difficult to manipulate. Maybe I'll come up with something to make them a little bit easier. We'll see. We got the volume here, so it's good. Headphone jack, sync jack. MIDI input, which is something I was really interested in. Full-size 5-pin DIN MIDI in, no MIDI out, although I'm not sure that would be appropriate. Yeah, USB-C, there's a power button there. Yeah, overall it looks pretty awesome. Now I'm really not that familiar with synths, to be honest. This is my first synth and I thought it'd be a good one to start with, so that's kind of the perspective I'll be going with when I start kind of playing with this and stuff. As somebody totally new to the synth world, this seemed like a nice, inexpensive way to start. Pretty nice build quality, all things considered, but it is kind of small. Let's go ahead and plug it in. USB-C does not come with a USB-C cable or anything, but probably got one of those lying around somewhere. Plug it in. Power button. It's a little strange I can't get it to turn on, but I will... Oh, that's kind of cool. This little PlayStation type controller, but it doesn't snap back to the middle. That should be neat. And these are, I guess, capacitive keys, but it's not turning on now, so I'll have to figure out what the deal is. One thing that's kind of neat about this, just looking at the build of it, got some hex screws in the front, and then Phillips head screws in the back, so you could probably take this apart pretty easily if you wanted to. I don't really want to, because, you know, it's brand new, but I guess you could take those covers off. This says something about hooking things up. Seems like I've got it hooked up correctly, I guess. Alright, after a little bit more tinkering, it's actually pretty easy. You just hold the power button down. Ta-da! Behringer Pro VS Mini. And alright, so now I've just got to figure all this stuff out. It's kind of cool. Capacitive things here. Capacitive inputs here, looks like, and they seem to light up when you touch them, so that's pretty neat. Alright, so let's hook this up to some headphones, plug this in, and I should be able to hear something. Put my other microphone unit here. Yeah, pretty cool. So I can play around with all this stuff and it should output different noises. Now I've got to figure all this stuff out, but you know, for $99 list price, pretty cool to be able to play with this. Looking at the display a little bit, I think I saw some comments that were talking about how the display wasn't good enough or something, or didn't display what they wanted, but seems okay. So if I press one of the input keys, you can see here it says Prog 11 Twang Bass, which I assume that's the name of it, and then Prog 11 is the program number. Seems pretty cool to me, but you know, maybe those that know more about synth stuff think better of that. But yeah, the way this thing works is pretty awesome. So press something, you can modify it. Now if I press one of the notes and then do the wave, most of these are potentiometers, so you can take it to that level or take it down, but this one actually rotates and rotates like an encoder. So it's a really neat sound. Like, yeah, I guess it goes along with the wave somehow. I don't know. Synth stuff is all new to me, but I'm really looking forward to learning more and more about this. Of course, if you don't want to be restricted to headphones, you can use something like this positive grid amp, or really any other sort of amp. Just what you'll need is an 1/8 inch jack connector, go into the headphones, to a 1/4 inch that goes into the input for a guitar amp or anything else like that. Of course, there's probably a million ways to hook this up, but this is what I have available. So with that hooked up, so yeah, you can hear it coming out from there, and it's much louder sound, obviously. Of course, you might note that these keys are a little bit small, and I wanted to use it with something else. And that's why I was really excited about the MIDI input. So if I plug in the MIDI in here, one of these cables, let's see. Make sure I got it right. Okay, good. And then I'll put in my custom MIDI input box here. I don't know if it's going to work or not. This is me just trying it out, but should work. Basically, I think it's got C, D, you know, it's got an octave right here. So plug that in here, turn it on, and let's see what happens. Nothing happens, but I don't think it has power right now. Yes, I need a battery input. So I'll hook this up and it should work. All right, hopefully. Got my power source properly hooked up. And press this and it'll do an auto beat. So with 3 simple elements, this positive grid amp, this Behringer Pro VS Mini, and my custom MIDI controller, arcade controller input, I can pump out some beats. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're thinking about getting one of these as a, an amateur, I'd say looks awesome. Maybe I'll have a different opinion in a month or two, but I think it's a great place to get started. Thanks so much for watching. This is Jeremy Cook for Cooked Audio, signing off.